At some point, everything's going to go south on you. Everything's going to go south, and you're going to say, this is it. This is how I end. Now, you can either accept that, or you can get to work. That's all it is. You just begin. You do the math. You solve one problem, then you solve the next one, and then the next. And if you solve enough problems, you get to come home.
You should be a monster. You know, because everyone says, well, you should be harmless, virtuous. You shouldn't do anyone any harm. You should sheath your competitive instinct. You shouldn't try to win. You know, you don't want to be too aggressive. You don't want to be too assertive. You want to take a back seat and all of that. It's like, no. Wrong. You should be a monster, an absolute monster, and then you should learn how to control it.
Do you know the expression, it's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war?
Right, exactly. That's exactly it.
Trust me, I know where I'm at, and I've said it before. A person's character is not judged when they ride the wave of success, when everyone chants their name and you want to be their friend. No, your character is put to the test when your back is against the wall. And for me, that time is now.
The greatest version of you is not the I can do anything version of you. The greatest version of you is the disciplined version of you. The greatest version of you is the version that has parameters. No, I don't do that. I don't drink that. I don't go there with these people. I'm focused. I have a prize that's in front of me. I know what I'm supposed to do, and that ain't it. I have to stay right here.
The time is now. The time is now to express and for people to believe in themselves. The time is now for it to be okay to be great. People in this world shun people for being great, for being a bright color, for standing out. But the time is now to be okay to be the greatest you.
I was gonna rip his heart out. I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me. Lynx is a conqueror. No, I'm Alexander. He's no Alexander. I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody as ruthless. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from Nairclaw. There's no one that can match me. My style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable. And I'm just ferocious. I want your heart. I want to eat his children.
But failure has made me who I am today. Failure gives you two choices. You stay down or you get up. Well, I'm up and I am fired up because I have figured it out. I have figured out that I need to stand in this ring and just plain old do something that I should have done a long time ago.
If you think the price of winning is too high, wait till you get the bill from regret. And that bill from regret is generational. And there's a lot of people listening to this that bill has been passed on from generation to generation, and you are holding that bill right now. And somebody in one of your generations has to pay that bill off in order for the generation to move on.
It does take a lot of failures, defeats, and adversity and suffering to get to the success. The road to success is paved with dead squirrels, potholes, and detours. It always has been for me. I've got multiple businesses, and not a single one of those businesses was a straight line from start to multi-millions. It was literally a squiggly line that went up and down, sometimes back, sometimes underground, sometimes up and then over. And it always took longer in time and more in money and energy investment than I thought. That's just the human condition.
We're not on this stage just because of talent or ability. We're up here because of 4 a.m. We're up here because of 2-a-days or 5-a-days. We're up here because we had a dream and let nothing stand in our way. If anything tried to bring us down, we used it to make us stronger. We were never satisfied, never finished, will never be retired. Rest at the end, not in the middle. And I took that to heart. I believe there's time for resting at the end, but for me, that time is not now. Thank you for this tremendous honor in acknowledging my basketball career, but I'm far from done. My next dream is to be honored one day for inspiring the next generation of athletes to have a dream, sacrifice for it, and never ever rest in the middle.
No one's good at everything. I mean, that's just not the way life works. We're all talented at certain things, but we can really continue to improve our weaknesses if we're humble enough to identify them, and we can build on our strengths. And I think we're all trying to find a more well-rounded aspect to ourselves, but a lot of that has to come with this understanding about yourself, that what you know is very limited and what you don't know is limitless. And you have an opportunity every day to surround yourself with people to help you grow. If I want to be the best, I got to beat the best. And this is where the best are.
It's very helpful for people to hear that they should make themselves competent and dangerous and take their proper place in the world.
Competent and dangerous? Why dangerous?
Because it's the alternative to being weak.
How is it good to be dangerous?
Because it makes you formidable. And life is a very difficult process. And you're not prepared for it unless you have the capacity to be dangerous. That doesn't mean that you should be cruel. It doesn't mean any of that. There's a statement in the New Testament: those who have swords and know how to use them but keep them sheathed will inherit the world. That's a way better way of thinking about it. You have to be powerful and formidable and then peaceful, in that order, right? And that's not the same as being naive and weak and harmless, which is what young men are being encouraged to be. It's like, that's a very bad idea. It's a very bad idea, because naive, weak, and harmless means that you can't withstand the tragedies of life. You can't bear any responsibility. You'll end up bitter. And when you get bitter, then you get dangerous.
If your definition of success is win or lose, giving everything you've got and growing or learning along the way, then you're setting yourself up for success. I really think the biggest cheat code in life is just going after it and not being concerned of whether or not you fail at one specific task. Instead, understanding the big picture, what your long-term goal is, and knowing if you keep driving forward and never fucking quit, in the end you will succeed.
A lot of people feel like there's something wrong with experiencing human emotions. And so they are stressed and then think there is something wrong with them, or they are sad. And I know this is the thing with the keyboards, are, their fingers are right on top of it. It's my belief, it is contrarian, I accept that it's the beliefs we have about our emotions that are the things that drive us mad. Somebody's sad and then they tell themselves that they're bad because they're sad, or they're wrong to be sad, or they're a piece of shit because they're sad, rather than saying, isn't this a beautiful thought about human existence? Like I can't say that I want sunny days if there are no rainy days. Like, we don't say weather is good or bad, it just is. And so I think to the same degree, the human experience is also that way too, at least how I define it. And so I think having that as my backbone frame in terms of my worldview, although contrarian, has helped me a lot in dealing with the things that often derail entrepreneurs on their path to getting what they want.
A friendly reminder that in 3 generations, everyone who knew us will be dead, including the people whose opinions stopped you from doing what you wanted all along. Imagine that someone you know achieves every dream and hits every goal they have. Years later, they get old and die. 2 years after that, how much do you care? About as much as everyone else will if you accomplish your goals and dreams. Do it for you.
So I make sure a lot of things you can't avoid. So as I get up, I start to armor plate my mind and body. Like a person's going to war, you put your body armor on. That's what I'm doing on that run. I'm waking up and I'm giving myself all this armor. So when I come out in the world, and I look at that phone, I'm ready. I'm not waking up late. I'm not rushing around. I'm not disorganized, because I know I'm gonna get hit in the mouth. There's an art to getting hit in the mouth. And that is why these things are important. You have to wake up and you have to give yourself belief. You have to give yourself confidence. So it starts with that run.
Believe. I think you should believe in everything. And of course, the rest, it's the dedication, the hard work. Listen to the people who know more than you, who they have more experience than you, and believe in your talent. I think it's the main point.
When that alarm clock goes off at 4 or 5 in the morning, your mind says no. You just say, this is what we do. It's what we do now. Because to get to where you want to go, the amount of pain involved, I'm not saying physical, I'm not saying you got to break yourself off. The amount of mental pain of how many times you're gonna have to do something that you don't want to do to get to where you want to go is gonna be, there's gonna be more times you do something that you don't want to do than you are gonna want to do it. And that's your new norm. That's your new norm. So then it's like breathing. And then once you do this over and over and over again, it becomes like breathing. I don't want to live this lifestyle, but to get to the other side of this, I have to. So if you really want it, you realize what trying is and what trying is not.
My favorite quote is that you can tell the size of a man by the size of his problems. If you can learn to embrace the things that are getting in your way, embrace the failures that are coming, those are just small bricks that are going to build your castle in life. Every time you fail, you must be grateful for it and see it as a part of the story that you're going to tell people one day on a podcast, on a yacht, on a boat, on a plane, or in a restaurant of how you became the man that you are. And if you don't have any of those stories, nobody will be interested in your story at all, and it'll mean nothing. So start to take pride in the negative things that happen to you, because those are the things that are going to make you the man that you're going to become.
Based a lot of my life in the past about my definition of success and my definition of being a champion and my definition of winning. And I think it all just comes down to, again, your values. When I'm old, what's the end of this look like? My values of being the best partner, father, person I can be. When I'm 50, if I have 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 Olympias, are any of those affected by that? No. So in this short-term goal of this moment of me wanting to win, is this very important? Yes. But is the pressure of my life and value and worth dependent on that? No, it's not. It's the big picture of my life that I'm focusing on, of who I want to become going through all these things. And I think that's so important for me to understand that everything that you choose to do and how you handle it is shaping who you're becoming.
See, I want you to go from these negative thought patterns to a more positive, empowering, high-five attitude. Mm-hmm. Because if you continue to live in, I'm fat, I'm unworthy, no one's going to love me, I've screwed up my life, that will be your life.
Right.
I'm saying change your thoughts so you stop the 24/7 beatdown.
Yeah.
And learn how to lift yourself up so that you can face the things that are going on in your life, and so that you can take the actions that you need to take to change your life. Because the reason why you're not changing is not because you're not capable. It's not because of the trauma or your past or anything else. It's because of the beatdown.
3 greatest lessons I learned from Michael. I would say competing, accountability, and then winning at all levels. You just don't win in one arena. You win in your sports, you win in business, you win in your personal life. Other people win because you win. It isn't just about you. It's about being able to pull the team and show them what it feels like to win. What kind of feeling that gives it. When you win, your family wins. When your family wins, you win. When you win, your friends win, the people that have supported you.
You need to work, depending upon how well you want to do, and particularly if you're starting a company, you need to work super hard. So what does super hard mean? Well, when my brother and I were starting our first company, instead of getting an apartment, we just rented a small office and we slept on the couch. And we showered at the YMCA, and we're so hot up we had just one computer, so the website was up during the day, and I was coding at night. 7 days a week, all the time. Work hard, every waking hour. That's the thing I would say, particularly if you're starting a company.
So if you've been dreaming of your own business, it's because that's what he got for you. If you've been dreaming of a summer home, it's because that's what he got for you. If you keep dreaming of a brand new car instead of a used car, it's because that's what he got for you. He places everything he has for you in your imagination. Imagination is everything. It's the preview to life's coming attractions. Everything in your imagination is God showing you in your mind something he has for you. If you want to kill a big dream, tell it to a small-minded person. God has shown you some amazing stuff in your life that you thought was brilliant. Then you took it to your friends and your family, and you shared it with them, and they shot it down. You know why they shot it down? Because they couldn't see it. You know why they couldn't see it? Because God didn't show it to them. He showed it to you.
I'd rather you hate me and get better than like me and stay the same.
A lot of us are full of shit. I was one of those people back in the fucking day. And sometimes I'm still full of shit. We think that we're working our ass off, working hard. You know, we've been working out hard in the gym for a month, but we haven't seen any results. So we get all fucking down in poopy pants and shit. You study for 30 minutes for a fucking test, and you didn't do as well as you thought. What the fuck did you expect? You're not putting in the work. You have to do more. You gotta stop telling yourself that you're doing enough. In life, it's never enough until you feel this overwhelming feeling of shit, man. I'm outworking the crowd. I'm outworking everybody. I'm doing more. It's not until then, once you get there, that's when you fucking know you've done enough. Stay hard.
We are not designed to do things that are uncomfortable or scary or difficult. Our brains are designed to protect us from those things because our brains are trying to keep us alive. And in order to change, in order to build a business, in order to be the best parent, the best spouse, to do all those things that you know you want to do with your life, with your work, with your dreams, you're going to have to do things that are difficult, uncertain, or scary, which sets up this problem for all of us. You're never going to feel like it. Motivation's garbage. You only feel motivated to do the things that are easy, right?
Self-improve every day. Most people self-improve just enough to make $250,000, $1 million, and then they slow down. I'm not slowing down. You know why? Because this universe is very giving. It'll give you whatever you want. All of it. But every single day you got to get sharper. Okay? So I believe in skill stacking. I believe in totally recreating. I believe you have to reinvent yourself every day. No bullshit. Every day you need to get better. Why? Because your children need to look up to you to be their hero. If not, they're going to find another one. Why? Because someone else leveled up while you weren't. You're distracted. Your wife doesn't admire you no more. Okay? My wife admires me. You know why? Because I remember there was a day when she didn't. And it drove me crazy. I was just an average guy. Better than most, but still average. So there's some leadership tips. By the way, in order to become that leader, I'm just going to tell you, you got to totally recreate. Because if you're not willing to do that, you can never become this man. It'll just be a dream.
I want to thank me. I want to thank me for shit, everything I done done. You know, and a lot of times that's mental health, to be able to celebrate yourself and to be able to give yourself some credit. And I feel like that was a great statement for those going through mental health, because we always depend on confirmation, or we depend on someone to make us feel like we're worthy or we're validated, when in actuality you should thank yourself for being validated, because you're the one that got to get up every day and do this and walk this walk, talk this talk, and do what you do to be you. So thank yourself, pat yourself on the back. Not somebody else say it. I need to say it and say it. I'm doing a good job. You're doing a great job, dog. Keep it up. And no matter what they say, you're doing a great job, and your work is speaking for yourself.
We're always blessed with talents. Every last one of you have a talent, but it's on you to develop and exercise and go get it. It's on you. That's not on mama, that's not on daddy, that's not on the friend, that's not on the homie, that's on you to go get it. So all of you got something inside of you that is just screaming to get out. And it's about time that you bring it out. I like work ethic and I like talent, but I also love character. Character is going to keep you where you want to go longer than you really need to stay. Work ethic is unbelievable. Talent is as well. But sooner or later, it's something that's inside of you just has to want it. You have to need it. You got to go at it like it's that next breath that you got to take, that nobody can stop you. And the closer you get to it, you're going to have naysayers, you're going to have doubters. But it's up to you to wipe the tears out your eyes and go get it.
To all of you watching here, come close to the screen and listen. People don't have to like you. People don't have to love you. They don't even have to respect you. But when you look in the mirror, you better love what you see. You better love what you see. Thank you to the critics. Thank you. Thank you.
Listen
something to me. I don't drink coffee. Why? I'm wired differently. Every time I get on the stage, I'm thinking to myself, E.T., when you get up, you're only as great as your last work. If you don't go to Australia and tear up the house, they may never invite you back. For some of you, when you do what you do, you act as if you have another opportunity. I'm wired differently. Every opportunity is the last opportunity. Every opportunity, I have to reprove myself again. Every opportunity, I'm still nervous. E.T., you've been doing this for years. Why are you so nervous? Because the day you become content, the day you stop evaluating yourself, the day you stop growing, the day you stop getting better is the day you die. Is the day the person who's trying to catch you will catch you.
One of the most important things, never, ever quit. Never quit. And I've seen people quitting. And if they would have held out longer, they would have been successful. I've seen it so much. I've seen some of the most brilliant people in the world that never made it because they were quitters. They were just quitters. They would quit. They just couldn't take it. They couldn't whatever. One of the things about loving what you do is that it's not work, and therefore you don't quit automatically. It's a lot easier not to quit. But you can never give up.
You really can solve a lot of male problems by getting in shape and making money. You still have problems. They're just smaller, and you have more resources to handle them. The world is there for the taking for anyone who can learn from their mistakes, do what they say they were going to do, and stick with it, even if it's not sexy. What used to make a man acceptable now makes you extraordinary. The bar for winning has never been so low.
Stay open.
Mm-hmm.
Stay open to the possibility of people. I never want my daughters, and I never wanted to feel so high that I was closed off and suspicious, you know, not wanting to let new people in, right? And that becomes very difficult when you're the president and the first lady. You know, you could, you know, close your life off so much, right? Because everyone might want something from you. But I always felt like, well, that's a loss, you know, because if you close everybody out, then you miss some gems. We've tried to be open and find ways to let new people in our lives and develop new relationships. And what I tell my kids is trust your gut, because you'll know when people should be let out. But keep your aperture wide open. Let people in, but when they show you who they are, let them out quickly.
The biggest impediment in the way of people achieving their mission is that they get scared. They get scared of humiliation, failure. A lot of people don't attempt things because they're scared that people will laugh at them. People get scared because they're scared they'll lose their livelihood. I'll lose my job, I might not get a better job, and so they don't take a risk. And then, of course, above all, the greatest fear of death. That stops people from chasing their dreams. So fear is the biggest impediment in the way, not just of someone becoming a leader, but from anyone achieving their potential in life. It's fear that stops us along the way, makes us compromise.
Nobody can destroy you if you won't let them. All right? Don't let them. You're a man. You are a man. Stand up and be a man. Make the hard decisions, make the sacrifices, make the unpopular decisions, and become comfortable in your own skin. And if you are not a person that you are comfortable being alone with, that is the one person in this universe that you have full power, full right, and full responsibility to change. Okay?
Life is not about making it easy. Life is the hero's journey. You need to be called. And if you don't get called now, eventually you're going to get called by something. Life or God or the universe will step in and kick your ass to wake you up. Now, some people, it takes a lot of kicking before they wake up. Some people never wake up. But the majority of people at some point are going to wake up. The question was, you stay awake. I don't mean woke, I mean awake. Awake to the fact that you're responsible to life for something more than just your needs being met. And I think when people do that, life is rich because it's meaningful, because it isn't just me, it's we.
It's time to stay focused. It's time to decide, fuck clubs, fuck partying, fuck trying to fit in and socialize, rub elbows with everybody so people can stop calling you weird. Why are you so antisocial? Because I'm trying to get it. Why are you staying on the basketball court so much? Because I'm trying to get it. Why are you out there practicing in the hot sun when ain't nobody else out there? Because I'm trying to get it. Why are you not clubbing? Like every time I text you and invite you to go do something fun and cool, you always studying? Because I'm trying to get it. These clubs, these parties, all this shit ain't going nowhere. The more weird you are is a reflection of how committed you are to focusing on your shit, molding and shaping and developing your ideas and your craft so that when it's time for you to make your rounds, you gonna fly.
What's yours? How will you serve the world? What do they need that your talent can provide? That's all you have to figure out. As someone who's done what you're about to go and do, I can tell you from experience, the effect you have on others is the most valuable currency there is. Because everything you gain in life will rot and fall apart, and all that will be left of you is what was in your heart. I am at the top of the mountain, and I was. The only one I hadn't freed was myself. And that's when my search for identity deepened. I wondered who I'd be without my fame. Who would I be if I said things that people didn't want to hear? Or if I defied their expectations of me? But you guys are so ahead of the game. You already know who you are. That piece that we're after lies somewhere beyond personality, beyond the perception of others, beyond invention and disguise, even beyond effort itself.
Lay hold of it. You lay hold of it. And when that thing tells you to quit, you look at it in his eye and say, I ain't going nowhere. I will break you before you break me. You will not defeat me. You will not destroy me. Some of you are so ignorant. You've been through so much hell. You gonna quit now? You should have quit 10 years ago when you got raped. You should have quit 10 years ago when he walked out on you. You should have been quit. You don't quit now. It's the 10th round. You got 2 more to go. And when you get to success, it's not about skill. When you get to a certain level of success, it's about stamina. It's about stamina. It's about you won't break me. You can't take me. I fought too long. I fought too hard. If I was going to quit Satan, you should have got me at 17, homie. You should have broke me when I was eating out of trash can. It's too late now. I'm in the Ritz-Carlton. It's too late now.
Engage. Weakness is strong. I must be strong. I must crush it into submission through force of will. So I savage the body. I push and pull and fight against gravity. I fight against fatigue and soreness and the weakness that says, give in. I will not give in. I will fight.
You say you want to be great, let your actions, let your words display that. If you say you really want to be elite, let your actions and let your words display that. That's uncommon, right? You can't be a common man and do uncommon things. That's uncommon. That's an uncommon mentality. That's an uncommon spirit. That's an uncommon disposition.
This is all about the quitting mind. So what's the quitting mind? So let's say it's day 1 of a job interview. We all know what that fucking shit feels like. You have your clothes laid out. You got your fucking food ready to go in the morning. You've been preparing for weeks and weeks and weeks. You show up and you bring your best self. You get the fucking job. Merry fucking Christmas. All right. After a couple months, you start showing up to work a little later. You don't look as good. Your clothes aren't fucking laid out. Your breakfast isn't ready. Your mind's getting softer. We do that shit with everything in life. When New Year's coming up, guess what? Don't have a fucking quitting mind. Repetition every day. Stay hard.
Listen to me very closely. Y'all running from obstacles when in fact it's the obstacle that's gonna take you to the next level. Like y'all running from pain, y'all running from challenges. You telling me how difficult your life is. Do you understand it is the difficulty that's gonna prepare you and take you to that next level? Why do you keep crying? Why me, God? Why did I get MS? Why did I get cancer? Stop running from it and run to it. Come on, y'all gotta hear me. The reason why you do what you do is more critical than what you do.
And if why you do what you do is weak, I need you to go back and start all over again. Because life is going to beat you upside your head. And I'm gonna tell you this, I don't care who you are and what profession you're in. Before you blow up, life will strip you to the core. But if you're weak, you will be broke. And I'm not here because I'm the best. I'm here because they tried to break me and they couldn't.
Pretend there's a documentary crew filming your success story. And they're following you around right now. What would you do? What would you do if you knew that there was a crew following you around with cameras documenting your future incredible success, and they want to catch you in the act of it all? You would do all the right things you would have to do. Think about that. Organize it.
A warrior seeks to act rather than to talk. It's not through your conversation you become great. It's by the work you put in. It's the condensation that appears on your forehead. It's the sweat that comes from putting in hours upon hours of effort. You will not be great unless you're willing to lose your fear. One attribute that separates a great warrior from an average is their fearlessness.
You know, if every time someone asks you a question, you try to say the right answer, your entire life is a test. And when did you have the most anxiety in grammar school and high school?
No question.
On test day.
No question.
So your entire life become this test. I ain't trying to say the right answer. I am just doing what I feel. My mama said trying is failing. There is no ifs, woulds, coulds, shoulds. It just is, and we just are.
It's easy to give up. You know,
Hell
it's
yeah.
easy. It's the easiest thing in the world to do. I'm done. I ain't going. Oh, yeah. I ain't gonna keep going.
Yeah,
I don't feel like going to work. I'm done.
Yeah, man.
It's easy. It's very easy. But what's hard is going, yo, yesterday I got nothing from working as hard as I could. Nothing happened from that. I'm gonna do the same thing again today, but I'm gonna try to go harder. That's the hardest thing in the world. To get up every day and give 100% and be in the same position that you were each day, but mentally know that you're trying and trying and trying. That's a real grind.
When you're waking up every morning by yourself and you're fucking getting after it by yourself, and it's the hidden work. All those mornings that you don't want to fucking get up, and I look at it as like a rock, and you find this fucking rock, and that rock is you. And every day you fight not wanting to get up, and you do anyway. You chip another piece off that fucking rock, and every day you fucking eat the right foods, and every day you go to train, and you train harder and harder and harder and harder, and you get up early, and all these things you do to start forming yourself. You're chipping another fucking piece of that rock up. Before you know it, you have this beautiful fucking piece of artwork that you built.
Sometimes when you're in a dark place, you think you've been buried, but actually, you've been planted.
Yo, I got to fight my fight. It's about fighting our fight. 2005, I had one of the most tragic injuries ever. And I couldn't help my team. So the leader was took away, so there could be doubt. But if you still have a leader, and Joe Flacco, you got to rally around it. You got to get behind him, and it ain't about wins and losses. It's about loyalty. It's about understanding. I'm gonna make the play, or I'm gonna watch the play be made. It's simple. It's if I can tell my safety, you cover this because I'm going this time. It's a man on a man every time you play the game. It'll never change. It's about winning one-on-one battles. Fight through fight. It's our fight to fight. 1 and 6 doesn't define who you are. What defines who you are is what you do when you 1 and 6. What the man you will fight for. Give everything you got today.
Preparing to do the thing isn't doing the thing. Scheduling time to do the thing isn't doing the thing. Making a to-do list for the thing isn't doing the thing. Telling people you're going to do the thing isn't doing the thing. Messaging friends who may or may not be doing the thing isn't doing the thing. Writing a banger tweet about how you're going to do the thing isn't doing the thing. Hating on yourself for not doing the thing isn't doing the thing. Hating on other people who have done the thing isn't doing the thing. Hating on the obstacles in the way of you doing the thing isn't doing the thing. Fantasizing about all of the adoration you'll receive once you do the thing isn't doing the thing. Reading about how to do the thing isn't doing the thing. Reading about how other people did the thing isn't doing the thing. Reading this essay isn't doing the thing. The only thing that is doing the thing is doing the thing.
Your goals and your tasks and your health and your discipline waver. Instead of letting all those things slide toward victory.
What's the secret to happiness? I always say one word: progress. Progress equals happiness. If you've ever achieved a goal and then went, is this all there is? You know it's not getting it. Or even if you achieved a goal and you were thrilled, how long were you happy for? A year? 9 months? 6 months? 3 weeks? Because we're not made to just sit here and be satisfied. Everything in the universe grows or dies. Everything in the universe either contributes or is eliminated. So when you're making progress, you feel alive.
When you have a dream, the one thing you have to watch out for are those out there that'll try to crush your dream.
Winners are people that everything that they do, all the habits that they instill are the habits of a winner. A winner isn't a final product. A winner is a lifestyle. A winner is a concurrent set of actions that lead you to a final destination. Same way is for losers. Usually losers inhibit behaviors of losing people. Who they hang out with, what they eat, what they listen to, what they consume on a regular basis, how they think about themselves, how they view the world. They view everything through the lens of a loser. That's why they are where they are today. So when people come to me and they're like, Luke, why is my life shit? All I have to do is look at your actions. How are you operating, dude? Most of you guys are operating at a 2 out of 10 and you're expecting a 10 out of 10 life. It's impossible. You want uphill results with downhill habits. It's not gonna fucking work, dude. You gotta level up. And that means understanding that if you follow a list of successful ingredients, you're gonna achieve success.
People should fucking stop complaining.
Right.
People should figure out who
call.
the fuck they are. Figure out what you fucking puts you on fire and you're halfway decent at. If you're lucky enough right now to be listening and you're good at what you like, become tunnel fucking vision. Because there's way too many voices telling you what and how. Have the conversation with the person that's holding you back. The reason most people who are listening right now are not doing that thing is they're worried about the opinion of somebody. Usually their mother, usually their father. And the reality is that your spouse may be the person holding you back and you have to have that conversation. Figure out what your fucking thing is and stop making fucking bullshit excuses. Who the president is, your mom did this, like I missed it, I had that idea for Uber. Then why didn't you fucking do it?
Love your life, right? You know, find the things that you can enjoy. Be curious. You don't have to have all the answers when you're 12, 15. I get emails from 13, 15-year-old kids, right? What do I do? What do I do, right? I feel like I'm being held back. I'm like a 15, you feel like you're being held back. But just be curious, because you don't have to have the answers. You don't have to know what you're going to be when you grow up. I'm a hardcore believer that everybody has something that they're really, really, really good at. That could be world-class great. Every single human being on this planet. And the hard part is just finding what that is. And in some places having resources to enable it. But be curious so you can find out what it is.
Instead of going backward, instead of decaying, get stronger, get better, grow and learn and develop and live. Live in defiance of the weakness and in rebellion against the decay. Fight them as they creep in with their offers of instant gratification and immediate rewards. Fight them for every inch they try to take. Do not surrender any ground ever. Hold the line.
Will you cut out the bullshit that makes you a loser? Are you gonna keep consuming and being like, oh, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? What's wrong is you're wrong. Your life is wrong. Everything you do, when the moment you wake up, you self-sabotage. You're setting yourself up for failure. And then you're asking why you suck at life. You suck at life because everything that you do is sucking and draining you away from your fullest potential. Focus on leveling up, motherfucker. Focus on winning. Every single action, everything that you do, focus on winning. Focus on becoming a champion. And you know what the outcome will be? You will become exactly what you put in. You will become the outcome of your actions. You will become the outcome of your decisions.
That is what I'm going to go for. And it doesn't matter that I will not be better than others when I compare myself to them. No. I will look at others who do achieve greatness in a category and I will say, look at what is possible. How close can I get to that greatness? How close can I get to that glory? But my glory doesn't happen in front of a crowd. It doesn't happen in a stadium or on a stage. There are no medals handed out. It happens in the darkness of the early morning.
My number one competition is me. It's always you versus you. You got to be the one to get up every morning, be disciplined, put in the consistent daily hard work, because that gains success. No coach, no trainer, no mentor, no boss can do it. You versus you.
To be in my shoes is not easy, but I'm not complaining. I just want to say that I'm feel happy. All this happened because of the reason. The reason is I'm unbelievable inside the pitch. This is why the people have so much interest on me.
Are you the best footballer in the world right now?
I think so, yes. In my mind, I'm always the best. I don't care what the people thinking, what they say. In my mind, not just this year, but always, I'm always the best. I'm always going to say that because I think we have to thinking we are the best in our area. So in my area, I think I'm the best.
You are who you hang around with. Do these guys look like the guys you hang with, that you fucking chill with? As opposed to your mates. You are who you hang around with. You're the product of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If a 16-year-old kid, and we've had him younger, we've had him 13. Because he wanted to know, am I the youngest? No, you're not the youngest. We had 2 brothers, 13 and 15, just barely 15 that came through here back in the 90s. But in recent time, he is the youngest. Some of you in your paperwork have said, I wish that I had found you earlier. Well, you weren't looking too hard, were you, asshole? Because I've been around 28 fucking years. They come to me either out of inspiration or desperation, and there's no motherfucker that's inspired in this room.
When you are on the path, you want to stay on the path. Unfortunately, the opposite is also true. Once you step off the path, you tend to stray far. When you don't prepare what you need to do the next day, when you sleep in and then skip your workout and you don't start attacking the tasks that you have because you didn't write them down the night before, that is when you make bad decisions. That is when your will and discipline fail.
Stop telling your visions to other people, because they're not going to see it. Because God is talking to you. He's showing you something that he has for you.
Every day is a new challenge, right? Every day is a challenge, is a day that we can prepare ourselves even more. So for us, we would call it putting money into the bank. So at the end of the year, when we had a major international competition, we could withdraw that money that we had saved throughout the year. There were a lot of days where I did not want to get out of bed. And I guarantee you, if I ask the question here, if everybody is excited to get out of bed every single day, but if you have those little small goals, those little small things that get you excited when you don't want to, it's going to make it even better and even easier at the end when you're getting ready for a presentation or the end of the year or this or that, whatever event you're leading up to. It's going to make it so much easier. And I think if you look at the greats in anything that, in any walk of life, the greats do things when they don't always want to. And that's the separation.
You want to become best, you want to become champion, and now you want to say like you tired? Who cares? You tired or not? Nobody cares about you. Even you, if you're gonna watch fight, you just watch fight. They walk out inside the cage, they fight, and they leave. You don't know what happened behind the scenes. This is not your business. Nobody cares about this.
Yeah.
He was tired, he had personal problem, family. Nobody cares. You don't know, like, you just see how he fight and he go.
Yeah.
And for this one, you have to train so hard. If you don't want, halas, go back to Dagestan. Nobody gonna ask about yourself. Without you or with you, there is always gonna be champions. With your name, this is your choice. You wanna put your name there? Okay, work hard. No? Bye-bye.
It was to remind you that you were born to do something great with your life, to tap into something in you that's been there all the time, and you tap into it sometimes, but that somehow you decide today, I'm gonna walk a little different, I'm gonna talk a little different, I'm gonna feel it, I'm gonna live my life, I'm not gonna wait around, I'm not gonna have these depth perception issues, I'm gonna begin to give myself the gift of happiness so that I can transfer it to other people. I'm gonna outwork everybody, I'm gonna do one more meeting, one more contact, one more time I tell my daughter I love her.
Where I try, and I try, and I try again. With everything I have to be the best that I can possibly be, better than I was yesterday.
Good fight is not necessarily the greatest fight ever lived. It's where you want to go.
You know what I mean? A good fight is just to be diligent and committed and disciplined, doing what you hate to do, but do it like you love it. You know, always testing yourself and forcing yourself to the limits, you know? If you know you, if you love women, then deny yourself that. You know what I mean? That's what success in general is all about, sacrifice. From my experience, of any little success I may have had, just be willing to sacrifice, you know. Unfortunately, sometimes you can't have fun accomplishing your goals. And when sometimes people don't have the determination, the will, and the steadfastness, the tenacity, they give in under the slightest struggle.
That's the pride in which you have as a man, is that you see your mom, you see your girl, you see your kids, you see all this shit, you see them doing well. That's all a real man wants. They don't give a fuck about how they dress, how they look, what they're driving. They don't give a shit. Because why? Your trophies are your family, and they're all walking around. Every man that sees you, they see you walking in with some sweatpants and shit, but they know your family's fucking balling because you put the fucking time in, you put the effort in, you put the work in. And as a man, we don't want none of that shit. We just want fucking respect.
And by parent yourself, I mean it's your job to make yourself do the crap you don't want to do so you can be everything that you're supposed to be. And you're so damn busy waiting to feel like it. And you're never going to.
You could change, you should change, you won't change. That's called accumulated disaster. Could, should, and will. You can start this whole process. And if you will, then put it into action. The miracle belongs to you.
It's a dog fight. It hasn't been easy. It's a dog fight. It hadn't been, the road hadn't been success, like it's just a paved road and like E.T. go this way. It's been rough. It's been crooked. It's been hard. But I've made up in my mind that I will get a reward for the pain that I go through. I will not stop in the middle of the process. I will not be defeated. I will not be destroyed. I will take everything that happens in my life and I will allow the pain to push me to greatness. You will not break me. You will not stop me. You will not defeat me. The only way I lose is if I quit. It's going to be a dog fight.
Lazy people do a little work and think they should be winning, but winners work as hard as possible and still worry if they're being lazy. So if you're a winner, you ain't comfortable.
Going the distance, it brings me back when I was 300 pounds trying to lose weight to get the Navy SEALs. My goal was to go out, I had a plan. My plan was to go out there and run 4 miles. But guess what? Everybody's got a plan so they can hit in the mouth. That's for Mike Tyson. So when your plan fails, when those bolster laws get too heavy, when you get knocked down on the canvas, when everything falls apart in your life and your plan is fucked up, what the are you gonna do? There's only one option. Stay hard.
I stand in the mirror with a pure heart. I know I am the best version of me that could possibly ever exist. I know that God is proud of me. There's nothing that God hates more than sloth and laziness. If God were to create a man and that man were to sit around and do fuck all, God will frown upon you. It's why you're never lucky. If you're listening to this and you think I'm never lucky, I'll tell you why, because God dislikes you because you're fucking lazy. Start to work. Start to show God the beauty of his own creations. You'd be amazed how lucky you'll become.
What is making you a quitter? What is making you a weak man? What is making you afraid? And so that's why I kept on quitting and going back to start, or not knowing how to get through hard times. And that's why I always tell people, I'm not a theorist. I didn't study, I didn't study a fucking book. I literally put myself in a fire repeatedly like a sword. You put a sword in a fire repeatedly and repeatedly. If you keep on doing that, you're gonna get a nice sword. And then you keep on beating it. You gotta beat the shit out of it. And that's what I am. Yeah. I became that. I said, okay, we can't quit. We got to figure out why you are this. What is wrong with you? What's going on here? So I kept on putting the sword back in the daggone fire, And I just beat it harder. And I beat it harder. Before I knew it, I started realizing, all right, man, the brain is starting to get hard. The brain is starting to get hard. I'm no longer a theorist. I'm now a practitioner. I put it in hell. I dissected it while it's in hell, because you can't dissect anything in a normal environment. You can't dissect anything in 72-degree weather. You must put it in the fucking freezer and freeze the fuck out of it. And then you dissect it. Dissect it when it's miserable. Dissect the brain when all it's thinking about is, I need to get out of here, man. I want to get out of the fucking freezer. Open the door. And you said, nah, 5 more seconds, man. 5 more seconds in the freezer. And that's when you start to pick that brain apart. And that's what all this stuff did to me. I kept on putting myself back into the freezer or the fire and beating the shit out of myself.
For a diamond to be produced, it has to go through extreme pressure, extreme heat. And if that wasn't enough, what makes a diamond is the cut. So you are put through, if you want to be a diamond, you must go through extreme pressure. If you can't take pressure, then you're not a diamond. After you go through all the pressure you thought you could not handle and you think it's over, then they turn on the heat. Of all the stuff I've gone through in my life, eating out of trash cans, sleeping in abandoned buildings, because I've been broken so much. I've been defeated so much. I've been disappointed so much in my life.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to make your dream become reality, the people that are running at their dreams know that it's possible that you can live your dream, that it's necessary, that you're relentless, that you have a plan of action, that you are creative. The people that are living their dream are finding winners to attach themselves to. The people that are living their dreams are the people that know that if it's going to happen, it's up to them. And they're resolving within themselves, it's not over until I win. The people that are running after their dream know they're going to have hard times. They keep on running because they're saying within themselves, I'm the one. No matter how bad it is or how bad it gets, I'm going to make it. The people that are running after their dreams are the people that are hungry. Shake somebody's hand on your right and left and say, you got to be hungry.
That's all we're talking about here is just you, your precious soul, who's enough, who's got greatness in them, who can do whatever he or she ever dreamed of. If they'll just start believing it, if they'll start taking massive action, you were born to do something great with your life. You were born to do something magic in small ways, in big ways, in quiet ways. Maybe it's not gonna be millions of dollars. Maybe it's gonna be one person you inspire with your story, what you overcome. One kind word, one message, one moment with one person can change the world.
If you give it all you have, you're gonna get max potential back. And then who knows what to come. That's the beautiful thing. If you don't show up, guys, you know the outcome. You'll never get the job, never get the part, never get the girl if you don't show up. If you show up, you put yourself in a situation to create those opportunities. And when you show up, how hard do you go? That's the faster the opportunity will come to life for you. It's up to you guys. But I applaud you for being here. I applaud you for watching this, encouraging you to incorporate this in your workout. You'll see the gains like I did. And you'll fall in love with it. Even though it's tiring and exhausting, and you're sweating your ass off, and you're tired as can be, small down payment that you're willing to pay every day for the large investment of a greater life. You only got one life, guys. Again, if you work it right, you only need one.
And we talk about this in business all the time. If you want to be a billionaire, spend time with billionaires. If you want to be a millionaire, spend time with millionaires. If you want to be a tech startup, spend time with, that's the common rhetoric that we hear all the time. But what if you want to find purpose and master the mind? There's no one better than a monk who's mastered the mind. So for me, the first step is just opening yourself up to new experiences and new role models. Because most of us can't see ourselves in people, so then we try and fit ourselves into the boxes that we do see. And I mean, there's this beautiful quote that I've been saying it everywhere, and I wish I wrote it, but I didn't. So it's by a philosopher and writer named Cooley. And he said that today, I'm not what I think I am. I'm not what you think I am. I am what I think you think I am.
If your job is to try to be the best basketball player you can be, right? To do that, you have to practice, you have to train, right? You want to train as much as you can, as often as you can. So if you get up at 10 in the morning, train at 12, train for 2 hours, 12 to 2, you have to let your body recover. So you eat, recover, whatever. You get back out, you train, start training again at 6. Train from 6 to 8, right? And now you go home, you shower, you eat dinner, you go to bed, you wake up, you do it again, right? Those are 2 sessions. Right now, imagine you wake up at 3, you train at 4. You go 4 to 6, come home, breakfast, relax, blah, blah, blah. Now you're back at it again, 9 to 11, right? You relax, and now all of a sudden you're back at it again, 2 to 4, and now you're back at it again, 7 to 9. Look how much more training I have done by simply starting at 4, right? So it makes sense to get up and start your day early because you can get more work in.
Hard work is what stands out, to answer your question directly, but it was for different reasons. It's because you don't work hard to play hard, she used to tell me. You work hard to have the ability to play when you want to.
That's a good
There's
line.
a difference. And what she meant by that was that you handle your responsibilities first. And when you work hard and you have that sense of pride, it goes right out the window if you utilize your efforts in the wrong fashion. But when you do what's right, and it's based off of that effort that you put in, then you feel good about it because you took care of your responsibilities. Then you can go play.
Sure.
Can't do the playing before any of that stuff.
Right.
That's why I've always been about my business in that regard.
We're born to do something great. I'm gonna say that to you again. You were born to do something great with your life. You are not average and ordinary. And the third thing is this: there's a power to doing one more. And if you'll do one more, your one decision, one relationship, one meeting, one encounter, one thought, one podcast interview, one book, away from a completely different life. You don't lack vision, you lack depth perception. You think you're further than you are, and you keep keeping it in that distance because you think it's so far away. You're one more away.
The idea that working hard doesn't make progress is one of the biggest farces that exists in humanity, because at the end of the day, whatever you amount to isn't going to matter anyways, right? And so if there is anything that's eternal for us, at least as individuals, it's going to be who we become in the process. And so one of my favorite quotes is, "The work works on you more than you work on it." And so if you want to be the best in the world at something, you do the work to become the best in the world, and the work works on you. And so, I mean, there's a biblical proverb. I think it says like, there is profit in all labor. And that means that even if the thing that you're working on right now doesn't amount to the outcome that you expected that it would, it doesn't mean that you don't become better through doing it. And so whatever the next mountain that you're trying to climb is, of course it's going to be higher, but it's going to require you to go through the smaller mountains to get to that point. So, because the more able you are, the more able you realize you can become.
The best way to contend with problems, with issues, with adversity is action, is by taking action. The more you sit and the more you wait and the more time you spend with that adversity, with the upper hand inside your head, the worse it's going to get. So for me, always taking action, making something happen. It doesn't have to be huge. It doesn't have to be some mammoth, triumph that you're going to go and pursue. But if you say, hey, listen, this is what happened, didn't go the way we wanted it to, we're going to get our gear back on, we're going to go back out. We're going to do this other mission. And that's what I think. I think taking action, and it's in your personal life too. Something doesn't go the way you wanted it to go. You didn't get the job you wanted. You didn't get the hire. You didn't get the promotion. You can go home and sit there and dwell on it. That's not getting you any progress. Or you say, okay, you know what? Let me do a quick analysis. Why didn't I get that promotion? Oh, it's because I didn't get this qualification, or I hadn't jumped through this gate. Okay, cool. What do I need? Let me look into how do I get to jump through that gate so next time I will get the promotion, and you start taking action. So action for me is a cure for a lot of problems that we have in life.
So what's your fucking excuse? Is it too cold where you live? Is it too hot where you live? Does it rain too fucking much? Now it's time for some real fucking talk. Maybe you're the only black person applying for a fucking job. Maybe you're the only female. Maybe you're the only fucking gay person. Job, whatever the fuck it may be. Maybe that shit's in your fucking head. Maybe that's your excuse for not being better. Life's a real big fucking picture. When I was young, all those things got in my head. Black, fucking not smart enough, single mom, all that bullshit owns space in my head. If you're allowing people and things and situations to own space in your fucking head, you're losing. Last thing, life's one big fucking head game. You play with yourself. If you lose, it's because you allow life to get in your fucking head. Stay hard.
You have got to change the way you think. It is the whole determining factor of where you go in life. We are all where we are today because we thought ourselves to this position. If you don't like the position, think yourself out of it. Change your attitude, you change your altitude.